Someone is stuck in a career. They have no idea how to get out or how to make a change. What is, a quick piece of advice?
If you can find a career that feeds your soul and that can generate money or even a supplemental income, I think you just try it. There's a roadmap. You have so much more experience at our age. It's almost a plus to start something new at our age because you have all that experience. You know what works for you. You know what doesn't. So just do it. Let's come up with a plan. I think there's a misconception at 50 years old, things start to go downhill. And I really do not believe that at all.
Hey there, hot messes. Welcome to Success of a Hot Mess, where we celebrate the art of juggling life's chaos and coming out on top. I'm Stacey Isaacs, your host and resident rock star lawyer, dance mom, and survivor. We're going to dive into candid conversations about conquering challenges, embracing our unique selves, and finding success in the beautiful mess of it all. Good morning, Julie.
Good morning, Stacey.
Thank you for coming on my podcast, Success of a Hot Mess, which is brought to you by workinjuryrights.com, which is my law firm, and we represent injured workers. So if you know anyone who's been injured at work, have them give me a call. But today we are going to talk about you, Julie Savitz.
Okay.
I want to hear all about you. What I know about you is that you are now a health and wellness coach. You've got a background in teaching children special needs?
Special needs.
Okay. How long did you do that type of work?
I was a special needs teacher, and then I went into special needs guidance, 24 years.
Okay.
Yes.
How would you describe, let's say in 2 words, that job?
Challenging.
Are you a patient person by nature?
I would say yes. I'm learning it as I get a little bit older, but yes, I'm super patient. Yeah.
Well, I feel like to have that sort of career path, you have to be patient and empathetic.
You do. Actually, my mother's brother, the reason I got into it was my mother's brother is mentally retarded. And I remember growing up with him.
I don't think you can say that anymore.
It is. Right? It's a real term.
Okay.
It is.
I know every time I say
it. Yeah, you can't say it.
My brother,
but it is a medical term.
I know. My brother, who is a New Yorker and very, very liberal, yells at me every time I use that word. But it is a medical term, right?
It is a medical term. But I went into it growing up. I think our generation, my mother always told me, you're going to have a supplemental income. You're going to be a teacher. You're going to be a nurse. So my sister became a nurse, and she was cleaning bedpans and stuff. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I went into teaching, not even knowing how much I was going to love it. And I started to work with special needs kids. I had a just love for them, and I continued on that path.
And what made you transition from that path into what you are doing today?
I received a phone call one day from one of my girlfriends. Said, hey, Julie, do you want to become a health coach? I say yes to everything. So I said, yeah, I'll be a health coach. I didn't have weight to lose. I didn't really have that weight loss story, but I just genuinely had the heart to help people. So I started doing health coaching, which is always about control. And my background working with kids and students and being patient certainly helps me in that career. So I, about 8 years ago, became a health coach. It has been very good to me, super lucrative, thank goodness, working with women in particular on being better versions of themselves. And I retired from the school system early after 24 years, and I'm doing this now full time.
That's amazing. I love that, because I do remember we used to see each other at Orange Theory, so we're both into fitness, so you kind of parlayed your love of fitness into helping others achieve their goals. So specifically, what do you do? What is your title now?
I'm a health and wellness coach. I also became a life coach. Kind of came upon me again, saying yes to something. So it is always, like I said, goes back to control. It's a threesome. It is health, wealth, and your finances, everything kind of coming back in control. Food in general, I don't care if you're a skinny person or a heavy person, it always comes back to control. And as we get older, our bodies start to change, and it's really, really difficult to be in shape and be healthy. So I work with people on macros. It's protein, carbs, fat. Fat gets a bad rap. When we were little, we used to eat those Snackwell cookies.
That in college for me.
And they're so bad for you.
They're fat-free, but they're full of sugar.
They're full of all sorts of stuff. Right. So fat got a bad rap. We need fat to burn fat. So I work with people on getting healthy fats in their diet and counting calories and counting carbs and just kind of getting into a fat burn. So it's been a real, like, amazing gift, and incorporating exercise too.
So what started as kind of like a side gig then became your full-time hustle. You said it became lucrative.
Yes.
That is a story that I love. As you know, I'm in a band, and I wish it could be my primary source of income, because I feel like when you're doing what you love, it's not work. Would you agree with that?
100%. I do agree with that. And I caught on, and I just really loved it. It's work too, but it's a labor of love.
Right. Have you overcome any personal challenges that you think helped you become a life coach?
That's a good question. For some reason, I've become this menopause person that people come to for menopause. I would probably March this year, I went through a serious bout with menopause, and I knew it was hormonal because when I had my first daughter, I had very bad postpartum. Okay. It was horrible. So as my hormones were starting to change and my ovaries weren't working as hard as they should and not doing what they should do, I literally could not get out of bed. I was balled up. I needed many mornings to go to my friend's house, and she needed to come help me get my daughter up in the morning. I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating, and this is something that women go through. You have, or you're going to, right? Or you've been through it. And it has a really, I don't know why, because it's so natural, it has a stigma, menopause, that it is your life is over and things are not as good as they were when they were younger. I think social media plays such a big part of that too. We look at people, and there is filters on people, and people put their best selves on Facebook. Yeah. And the truth is, it is your body is going, you're going to get gray hair everywhere. And it's very depressing. So your body starts making these hormones. So, and I was nervous to ask for help. So I went to one of my doctors, and she wanted to put me on estrogen, which I didn't need. So I found a functional doctor who saved my life, and he put me on some medicines to help me overcome that. And now that experience is why I became a life coach. I'm sharing that experience loudly on Facebook and with my friends, and so many people have said, so amazing that you're so open about it, because it does have a stigma.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I had very early menopause because of some chemotherapy I had. Like, I'm talking like 45 years old, which is on the early side to experience that. But I have to say, I'm a better version now. I mean, everyone says it makes you look old because you don't have the estrogen. And luckily, I didn't have, crazy depression or anything. My husband would probably say I got a little moody, and the hot flashes were no joke. But I, too, was unwilling to take any hormones. I don't want any hormones. So I kind of had to just go through it. The only way to the other side really is going through. But I'm glad that you were able to find a doctor that could assist.
It was really awful. I think the not sleeping for whatever reason really was messing with my head. And I thought it was only me, because I don't think women speak about it.
Right.
They're going through it, but they don't speak about it. Or it's something that's going to pass in a week, and it's not. And I will say, like you said, I am having the most amazing time of my life. I'm 52. I feel great. I started a new career, having amazing sex and experience, and in tune with my body, and more than I ever have in my whole life. So it is just another chapter. It's different, but it's just as good, if not better.
So tell me about the life coaching. Like, somebody comes to you, let's say I come to you and I say, I don't want to practice law anymore, but I have no other skills. How do you dive in and help them find something else?
The answer is always with the person. I have a lot of people, we start a session, then they come to me about law, let's say, like you said. And I say, why do you think that there's nothing else that you're good at? Because there's always something. And then we dive into that. Everyone has the answers in them because there is something else. And what do you want to be good at? And why not now? Why not start something new? People are afraid. And what I say is you've 100% been successful at everything you've done up to this point. So let's try something new. What if you fail? If you fail, you start. I failed at a lot of things, and you just start fresh. You don't know if you don't try. So the life coaching is working on the future. I have a degree in psychology too, and that was something bad happened to you growing up, and that's focusing on that. This is here we are, where are we going from here? Let's come up with a plan, a map to where you want to get.
So do you prefer the life coaching or the health and wellness?
I really like the life coaching. That is my heart. And it's intertwined because sometimes we talk about exercise and health too, but I really just love the life coaching. It's been for me when someone calls me and says, hey, I got this job, or hey, I ran a marathon, or hey, I'm a better version of myself. And it's just a lot of time, Stacey, it's listening. To have that hour of someone not judging you, listening to you for an hour, it is, and I'm a good listener. And it's just saying, how do you feel about that? And what do you think? I want to give people a bag of tools to help themselves. Yeah. Once we're finished.
I think, and I say this all the time to my attorneys, when our clients call, really, they just want to be heard. They want someone to listen, not judge. So we do have to listen, to their ailments and their fears and their struggles. They can't keep the lights on. I think at the heart of all humans, we just want someone to listen to us, right?
Yeah, that is it. It's having that, and someone that's not judging you. It's just saying, that must be so awful.
Right.
That must be so awful. I'm so sorry that happened to you. What are we going to do about it?
So besides, postpartum and then menopause, were there any other personal struggles that you think have helped you in your role as a life coach?
I will say, yes. I am a single mother, been divorced for 10 years. That was a wrench in my life. I thought I was going to be married forever. I lived in a big house. We had live and help. There was something on the floor. I'd literally step over it. Like, oh, someone will take care of that.
Sounds like my kid.
Exactly. So for me, it was a big wake-up call when when that marriage ended, which I will say I have an extremely amicable relationship with my ex-husband. Extremely. Very different, and I thank him for that. But being on my own and paying for things and working 2 jobs and my daughter seeing a strong woman, that I had a pity party. I had a big pity party about that. And life is getting off exits and getting back on. So after my pity party, I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do something else. I want my daughters to be proud of me. I have 2 daughters. They're watching me closely. And I'm not perfect. I say my time out at my house is a really good thing. Everyone go to your spaces. We're going to come out. It's 3 women. We all get our periods together. And it's really, you probably don't want to visit me at that time. But it's a lot going on. So I wanted them to be proud of me. So it is empowering to be able to do that.
Yeah, I love that. And I have 2 daughters as well. And I want them to be proud of me. And they know they live a much more privileged life than I did. I had it good as well, but they don't have to do a whole lot for themselves around here. Let's just say that. But they see that mom works. They know, I'm an attorney, and I am proud of that.
Yeah. My little daughter, both of my daughters are amazing, but my little daughter every day writes me a note. I come down from my room. She gets herself ready for work. Mommy, I love you. Mommy, have a great day. Mommy, I'm so proud of you.
How old is she?
She's 14. She is watching me. My oldest too. She's amazing, but she wants to go to Bahia Bowls and live her best life, right? Yeah. She doesn't, she wants to get the chrome polish on her nails. And I'm like, oh my God, that's extra money. I wouldn't do that. But that's their generation, I think. So.
Yeah, it definitely is. But mine, no. my older daughter, who's an excellent student, she's just like, gosh, I better get a really good job. And I said, yes, you better. But I love that it's not like, I better marry a wealthy guy, because they see a strong woman. And I really, for that, I'm proud of what I did with law. Now, are there any tools you can share that you have in your arsenal to help you balance all of these? It sounds like you have, numerous jobs, and you've got the girls, and you're a single mom. How do you balance all of this?
I will say a lot of women in all sorts of different, we're pouring from an empty cup. I know what makes me happy. I have my yoga, I have my health, I exercise every day. My girls know how to make dinner. My girls know if it's really important, I'm there for them, but there are certain things that are non-negotiables for me. I wake up, I do yoga, I stay healthy, I have a checklist of things. I meditate every day, which I highly recommend. Changed my life. It is very difficult, but it's a learned thing, and it will change. I wake up every morning, Stacey, and I go, Julie Savitz, you are awesome. And believe me, there's days I'm not feeling awesome. Say, Julie Savitz, you are awesome. It's going to be a great day. So the messages we tell ourselves, our body believes it.
I feel like you're the blonde version of me, because I recently, about like 2 months ago, I adopted, I don't know if you're familiar with Mel Robbins, but she's another motivational speaker. She said every morning, look in the mirror, give yourself a high five, and tell yourself 3 things, that you're good at. So I do it. I say, I'm a good mom, I'm a good attorney, and I am caring or compassionate or whatever it is that day. And it really is a practice of gratitude in a way, and it is life-changing. The meditation, I couldn't get that down. I tried Transcendental, and they want you to meditate 20 minutes twice a day, and I couldn't focus.
It's a learned thing. I start with 5, then I do 10, and some days I don't do it at all, but I do my best to try to get to it. It is a game changer. I'm going to show you how to do it.
So if you had to, just for the listeners, if someone is stuck in a career, they have no idea how to get out or how to make a change, what is, a quick piece of advice?
I think you just do it. You make a list of things that feed your soul. If you can find a career, like you said about your singing, if you can find a career that feeds your soul and that can generate money or even a supplemental income, I think you just try it. There's a roadmap. You have so much more experience at our age. It's almost a plus to start something new at our age because you have all that experience. You know what works for you. You know what doesn't. So just do it. Let's come up with a plan. And if worst thing is you're not successful and you try something new. But I think there's a misconception at 50 years old, things start to go downhill. And I really do not believe that at all.
I don't believe that at all either. Do you have any quotes that you try to live by? Anything you tell your girls all the time?
I tell my girls every day we are in this together. And we are not perfect. We are doing our best, and it's going to be okay.
And I say something very similar, or we say something similar to our clients who have been injured. It's, you're not alone. And
it's good to feel wanted. It's really nice to feel wanted at our age. And we give so much.
Right.
So it's okay to be a little bit selfish. And what feeds your soul? Because if they say in the airplane, right? You put your mask on yourself first. You're a better person for it. And one day, I will tell you, these kids are going to be out of the house. And what are you left with? What are you left with? So who are you? What are you left with? Where are you going from here? Because I really do believe I've seen it's a new chapter.
Yeah. I mean, even my 13-year-old the other day said, Mom, what are you going to do? Like, Reese is leaving in 2 years. I'm leaving in 4 years. I said, I guess I'm going to be like a 60-year-old rock star because
you are going to be. Absolutely.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on. I think you are inspirational.
Thank you.
You are slaying life, it looks like. I see joy and happiness, and it's inspirational. How can listeners find you to get your services?
I am on Facebook. I run my business through Facebook. My name is spelled Juliesavitz. On Facebook, I run a lot of things. I do a lot of live videos and inspirational things on there. So that is the best way to see me.
And you do recipes, right?
I do, and I'm a horrible cook. It's so funny. I'm a horrible cook, and some people like to put stuff together. Some nights I just take a rotisserie chicken and put the chicken on a plate. Some nights I'm motivated to do something a little bit more intense. But yes, food is fuel. What are you fueling your body with? So look at your plate. Food is fuel. Your water too, your exercise, and who you are around is your diet.
And what you're consuming on social media.
Yes.
Television. Because I watch a lot of reality TV, and I just heard a podcast that said, stop.
It's because it's not real life.
Right.
That we see the Kardashians, my kids watch them, and they want these Skims tops. And this is just not real life. And it is being healthy and being smart and being awesome is work, but it's believing that you can.
Thanks for your honesty today, Julie. I'm sure I'll be seeing you soon. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Success of a Hot Mess. If you loved what you heard today, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a beat. And hey, sharing is caring. Share this podcast with your friends, family, and anyone who could use a dose of inspiration. Until next time, keep rocking those hot mess moments with style and grace. Cheers.